Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? I go by the name Fred Knoxxx. We about to give y'all something special. You ready?
Welcome everybody back to Around the Bloxxx with Mike Knoxxx. It is me, your host, and indeed I spelled my name with 3 X's because indeed I am hardcore. But people, you already know that. Listen guys, a lot to discuss tonight about Monday Night Raw, and I just cut to the chase, and I just cut to the middle of where it needs to be cut to, and that's whether this show was good or whether this show was bad. Now, I listen to other podcasts. I watch other YouTube shows just like you, and I'm glad you're tuned into this one right here, right now. And I take down notes, and I ready to go through the show to, just to be more professional. That way I can have an in-depth look of what actually happened on Raw, give you an in-depth opinion about what happened on Raw. But sometimes I don't think it's necessary. So what I am going to do, though, that I do think is necessary for those who have not got opportunity to see Raw, who only really watch wrestling via the social media, internet, however you can get it by what someone else says, I'm going to tell you what I thought about Monday Night Raw tonight. Opened up with Paul Heyman coming out with Brock Lesnar talking, what goes up because Goldberg goes, down goes Goldberg. I'm sorry, what's the name? That will be the hashtag, down goes Goldberg. Or we like to say, down goes Oldberg. Well, we knew that was going to happen. Then we had Sasha Banks taking on Dana Brooks in a match, which was actually a pretty good match for what it was worth. Winner was Sasha Banks, and then the match was the most important part there, and that's especially in the grand scheme of things in the women's title division. Now, later on, and I'm going to skip forward a little bit. You got Nia Jax spoke about her wanting to be why she's not a part of the WrestleMania main event. She gets a match with Bayley. Go back to that in a second. So here's Dana. In my opinion, this sets up even more intrigue about that match, and will it just be the 3 ladies? Now, I'm not saying throw Dana Brooks in there. I do say throw Nia Jax in there. But what happens is after the match, the queen herself, Charlotte Flair, gets to berate Dana Brooks like she always does. Dana wasn't having it and had finally had enough. I'm glad Dana stood up for herself. Can Dana stand alone? Does Dana belong on Raw? We're going to find that out here and now in the coming weeks. After that, we got a great tag team match between the Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese taking on Akira Tozawa. I love that guy, by the way. And TJ Perkins, winner, the Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese, who maybe stepped away from the pack a little bit, as tomorrow on 205 Live, the greatest hour in television, fatal 5-way will actually determine the number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight title and King Neville himself at WrestleMania. Then we had another tag team match between hand-picked boys by Triple H, the Destroyer, Samoa Joe, the U.S. champion, which, by the way, I'm going to say I cannot wait because my shirt's already ordered. I'm already planning. Damn it, I'm not going to lie to you mother suckers. I'm already packed for WrestleMania, okay? So I can't wait. But my WrestleMania shirt will change. I need that Kevin Owens shirt. Kevin Owens, KO Mania 2. Cannot wait. I need that shirt. Hashtag Belt Kings. Hashtag T-shirt King. Also, during that match, Sami Zayn and Jericho took on the Destroyer, Kevin Owens, and winner by disqualification. Who cares? It was clearly Sami Zayn and Jericho, but it didn't matter. The beatdown that Jericho took after that match was the most important part of that match. Then you had Mick Foley and Stephanie backstage saying that, look, somebody has to get fired. This actually happened immediately following the Brock Lesnar segment, that somebody by the night has to get fired. We'll get to that in a second because I know that's what you're waiting on, and I will tell you how I feel. But we had a number 1 contenders match between Kaz and Enzo taking on Sheamus and Cesaro, League of Nations 2.0, as my man hashtag, or I'm sorry, @Spotface on the Twitter would say. No contest. Gallows and Anderson interferes, setting up possibly a triple threat match or whatever they're going to do at WrestleMania with those 3 gentlemen. Then we had Roman Reigns defeat Jinder Mahal, but the bigger story, the biggest news of the night was the return of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. He comes in there during the match with Roman Reigns. We hear the dong go off that we thought the Undertaker was coming out. He didn't come out. Roman did seem very distracted by that. Shawn Michaels said, look here, man. I am Mr. WrestleMania, and I fought, and I faced this guy. if that distracted you, and you're this far out from WrestleMania, which is really just 3 weeks away, but you're this far out from WrestleMania, and he's already in your head, you've already lost. He said, listen here, you may have retired him, because that's what Shawn Michaels said, and I'm going to retire him. That's what Roman Reigns said in reference to The Undertaker and who yard it is. But I love the end of this, as Roman's leaving the ring, the monster, the beast, the real beast right now, Braun Strowman shows up, and with an epic, like, it's not even really a clothesline, like a pound. Everybody remember my man, y'all know who I'm talking about, TNA's own Marcus Corvance, will be calling him WWE. God dang it, what was his name? It eludes me right now. And Monty Brown and TNA, the pounce. He didn't with a pounce. He pounced him all the way off the ramp onto the floor. That was great. Setting up a match next week. We're going to see Braun versus Roman Part 2. That was great. Then we had Austin Aries defeat Daivari. And I'm going to say this much, guys. Y'all can come at me all you want to. I don't care. Austin Aries, the greatest man alive, is better than an elbow for his finishing move. If I'm only going off finishing moves, and I love Austin Aries as a wrestler, but give me Nikki Bella's elbow over Austin Aries. I said it. I'm not afraid. Then we had New Day Talk. I love it. The New Day Talk show. I'm watching it at first. I'm saying, why? They're already hosting WrestleMania. I'm not really proud of that. I don't think they're really proud of that. Or are they? They're on the program. They're getting paid from it. So maybe, but I don't think they are. But they interview the Big Show in reference to the new movie coming out tomorrow with the Jetsons. And just for people who say, well, Vince is out of touch and the WWE's out of touch with how you going to make a cartoon with the Jetsons. Let's understand one thing, guys. For those who have kids, can answer this and can tell you the truth about this. And I have children, so I'm going to tell you the truth. Kids don't care where they see the WWE superstars at. Whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a video game or not, they're going to still watch it as a cartoon with WWE. So this ain't nothing but the WWE really helping the Jetsons and putting that old thing together where parents like myself who are fans of the Jetsons, who did watch the Jetsons, will then say, hey, I want my kids to watch it the same way they did with the Scooby-Doo thing. People don't think Scooby-Doo still lasts. My kids love Scooby-Doo. My kids love the Jetsons. Give things a chance before you boo them. But anyway, they're interviewing the Big Show. At least you thought they were. They asked a question and answered a question. This segment was completely brilliant to me. Out comes, I don't get in trouble on none of my Q-Dog or Omegas out there that I know get mad if I do that. But out comes Titus O'Neil. They're going at a New Day out of nowhere. My son goes, where did the popcorn come from? Same thing I was saying. Great segment by that. Led to a match, but later on the night, Big Show destroys Roman, destroys Titus O'Neil. And listen, guys, I was disappointed by this as well. We now know that we will not have Shaq versus Big Show at WrestleMania. Somehow, some way that fell through. But that's what I want to say to wrestling fans who are complaining on the internet, complaining on social media. Oh, Big Show's in this match and there's no Shaq. You didn't really want to see Shaq anyway. So it's the same thing with all of a sudden Rusev. It's all of a sudden the same thing with Cody Rhodes on the indie circuit. You didn't care about these guys. Now all of a sudden you want to care about these guys? Come on now. It's not a bad thing he's in a battle royal. It really isn't. I mean, it's the second one he's going for a second. This might be the most competitive Andre the Giant Battle Royal to date at WrestleMania. And as an old school wrestling fan, as tag team wrestling is my favorite thing to watch, I like Battle Royals. And if they're done properly and they're done right, this could be good. But I know most people complain is that when you have this Battle Royal, it doesn't breed the new stars. I beg to differ. I think this is their way, quote unquote, close as they can get right now anyway, as a King of the Ring. Typically, the winner of this Battle Royal has gone on to greater pastures. Now, someone will say, well, Big Show won it already. Well, he has to win the first one. It's Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He's the only one there, the Giant. All of them was rolling back in the day. Was he his son or this and another? I felt that was apropos that he won that first one. Then you had Cesaro. It propelled him to where he needs to be. Sorry, guys. I love Cesaro, but he's not a top star. He's a top mid-carder. That's where he belongs. Then you have Baron Corbin. Look what it's done for him. I think this is a good Battle Royal, a good spot to put Big Show in there with all the talent that's going to be in there as well. I love it and cannot wait for it. Now back to the Nia Jax Bayley match I told you about. Winner by disqualification was Bayley, but who cares? It's all about Nia Jax being dominant. She did that thing where you throw them out the ring and they throw them against the barricade on the outside. You hear Bayley saying, wow, that hurt. She says, little girl, grown woman, love Nia Jax. Can't wait to see what they do with her later. And then Mick Foley comes out after he was ordered to fire somebody. This is where it gets good, guys. This is where it gets good. Listen, before this segment, I had Raw penciled in at pretty much, I'm being honest with you guys, a 2.5 to a 3 out of 5. I gave my belt grade later, but it was not going to be a good high belt grade. I love this segment. And as I said earlier on Perfect Plex Talk Radio on Soul and Sports, which you can find part of the Fox Sports family. Let's see how all those things go together, because Soul and Sports is mine, Perfect Plex Talk Radio is mine, and we're all a part of the Fox Sports family. But we talked about it on Talk Perfect Plex. You can follow them on the Twitter page at Talk Perfect Plex. We talked about how Mania, for all the talk that people are saying out there, if you look at the 32 WrestleManias they've had thus far, you can probably count on one hand how many have actually been bad. So they typically deliver at WrestleMania. So I'm not mad about any of that at all when it comes to WrestleMania. And so, but leading up to WrestleMania, on this Raw, however, I'm thinking, this is really, we're 3 weeks out. I need more than this. Now, I was a little disappointed because we all know that Finn Balor has been advertised at house shows over the weekend, wrestled at house shows over the weekend. But I said earlier in the show, like I was getting to, where do you put Finn Balor if he comes back? Can you make that match that maybe some people want to see, maybe a cross promotion to get AJ out of the match with Shane McMahon? Yeah, you could, but really? And then this segment happens, and I go, well, maybe, because now we're thinking Seth Rollins pops back in. Let me just rewind a little bit. I get a little ahead of myself. I get excited because I did love the end of this segment so much on Raw. Mick Foley says, I'm going to fire Stephanie. Stephanie's like, come on, you can't fire me. He's like, listen, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the way y'all treat me. Nah, you're the reason why this show isn't doing better. The crowd is deafening. Even she says, wow, a really good response. He starts to berate her, and out comes the cerebral assassin. Out comes the King of Kings. Out comes the man that should not be known as the third wheel to the Attitude Era between Stone Cold and The Rock. He should stand alone, Triple H. Triple H gets in the ring, tells him how he can fire his children, be a good little boy, be a good little soldier, go back to work. He reaches in his pocket, digs out Sacco while Stephanie's talking trash. Turn around comes Triple H, bam, Mr. Sacco, but not really, but, was in his pants. We know what it is, right? The mandible claw out in his mouth. Stephanie, boom, low blow, hits him in a crotch shot. Love it. Then out comes Seth Rollins. At this point, the internet's going crazy. I'm tweeting, man, we're going to get Seth Rollins at WrestleMania actually shows his leg is okay. And then, boom, Triple H whoops that ass. Triple H whoops that ass so bad. I don't think we're going to get Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and I think this is why. I hope I'm wrong, okay, because I do want to see the battle of the pedigree, okay, the master of the pedigree versus the pupil of the pedigree, if you will, so to speak. I want to see this match. I don't think we're going to get it. So that leads us to, will we actually see Finn Balor? Which, again, I don't know how you mix Finn Balor stepping in and replace a Seth Rollins. I don't care. Let's leave Finn away right now. He didn't show up. I'm disappointed by that one. I got to let that go. That's me as a fan. I wanted Finn there. Again, I don't know where you put him, but I just want him there. But what does this do? What does this say to you? Comment below. Let me know. What do you think about that? Now, it appeared as if Seth Rollins was back, but he's not. Because, from what I just saw on Raw, he's definitely not making Raw. He got that leg tore up. How much healthy can he be? Will that match be sanctioned or non-sanctioned at WrestleMania? And do you want to see this match? I know I'm excited for it. So with that segment, with the end of Raw being so well, carrying over to 11:15 for heaven's sakes, okay, it moved my Raw ratings from a 2. I'm not lying. I was at a borderline 2.5 out of 5 belts for this. I'm going to move it, guys, to a 3.75, almost a 4. Almost a 4. Not quite a 4. Could have been a 4. I'm thinking that you got Brock Lesnar on this program. You got Braun Strowman on this program destroying Roman Reigns. You got the dong that gave us the illusion that The Undertaker was going to come out. You got the return of the Heartbreak Kid, the showstopper, Mr. Main Event, my favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels. Then you have Triple H on top of Seth Rollins. 3.75. It could have been a 4, but it's some things that was missing from the show. And just to be fair, because I like to call myself hashtag WWE guy. And on my program with my guy hashtag Wrestling is Storyline with my team at ME Richmond on the Twitter. My man Toph and KME and Chad and all those guys, they get on me for always being a WWE guy and maybe sometimes drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. I do drink the Kool-Aid. I like Kool-Aid, especially the grape kind, okay? And so typically, I would probably gave a nice Raw, if not for the first hour and a half of what the hell are you giving me, I would have gave this a 4.5 out of 5 Raws. I just can't because it was so long getting to the point where the show was good. It was so long getting to the point where even Shawn Michaels came out. It was just too long. I will say this to go back with the Shawn Michaels Roman Reigns segment, and I like how the WWE is starting to take a little bit of what Fox Sports has been doing for a while with the pictures and saying whose yard is it. That's something I feel like we've done over at Fox Sports 1340 on the Twitter, 1340 AM, Fox Sports on the Twitter. Please follow. But I tell you this much. The crowd reaction that Roman got. I said this on Talk Perfect Plex again, cheap pop, but it's not because I pay for it. Or on the show Soul in Sports, that's at Soul, S-O-U-L, capital N Sports. I said Roman Reigns will beat The Undertaker. And when he beat The Undertaker, the boos will be as deafening as Rocky Maivia, Rocky sucks chants, as Rock's chants, whatever chant you can name, CM Punk, yes chants, it won't matter. The boos will be just as loud and ovacious as those. And Roman will become the biggest heel the company has seen in quite some time. Roman Reigns does nothing bad in a wrestling ring. Nothing bad in wrestling, period. Again, people, wrestling is hashtag storylines. Not about how great you just wrestle in the ring. Okay? It's about the total package. It's like comparing Floyd Mayweather to, or let me stop that because y'all might not like Floyd and let's not go there. It's a different show. But it's like comparing boxing to MMA. MMA is your great thing. People love it. It's new. It's flashy. It's in your face. It's kick-ass. But at the end of the day, boxing still makes more money. That's the great wrestling that fans want to see, that you get from a Ring of Honor, that you get from a Lucha Underground, that you get from New Japan. But they forget, this is the WWE. It's a different style of wrestling. And it's the wrestling that has lasted and made millions upon millions of dollars. So with that being said, I've been beating around the bush the last 2 minutes here trying to come up with my belt grade, but I'm going to do it. I thought it was a good show. I thought it could have been better. So that led me to my grade of a 3.75 Intercontinental Heavyweight titles, ravishing Rick Rude belts. Great run, had a great time, but it missed where it could have hit better. And that's what I thought about ravishing Rick Rude's career. Great Hall of Famer, cannot wait. I'm a huge Rick Rude fan, but there was so much. Rick Rude could have been up here, and they kept him right there when he could have been really a really big star. And I think that was Raw tonight. Raw had an opportunity 3 weeks out from WrestleMania to set the bar. Now, all you're going to hear on the internet, all you're going to hear on Google+, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you do your social media at, you're going to hear it on your local podcast, wherever you find it, you're going to hear Smackdown over Raw, Smackdown over Raw. And it's true, to be honest, right? But right now, Raw is the $1 million baby. But right now, Raw is playing second fiddle. Okay? Do you want to be Marvel? You want to be DC? Right now, Raw is DC and SmackDown is Marvel. Marvel needs to be Raw because that's the $1 million baby. 3.75 ravishing Rick Rude Intercontinental title runs. I like this show. Could have been better, but it just did not deliver where it should have delivered all the way. Love the end. Love segments, but just was not all around a great wrestling show. Still a high grade, I guess, for me, a 3.75, almost a 4 out of 5, but not quite. Again, walking in before the last segment, I had it at 2.5. I do think the last segment was that good. I knocked it up another belt grade. Listen, guys, make sure you follow me on the Twitter at Mike Knoxxx. I spell the name with 3 X's. It's easy to spell, at Mike Knoxxx. Make sure you follow all the shows I'm a part of. That's Soul in Sports, SOULN Sports, Talk Perfect Plex, where we talk wrestling, and the station giving you all the identification at 1340 AM Fox Sports. People, listen, I cannot wait for WrestleMania. My bags are already packed. How about you? Comment below. Let me know what you thought about tonight's Raw. Shout out to Jeremy Johns for that quote right there. I'll see y'all next week, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? I go by the name Fred Knoxxx. We about to give y'all something special. You ready?